$400,000 of potentially, depending on how the final dollars work out, but anywhere between 350 and 400,000 additional grant money that Trempealeau County will receive just for road construction. I'll be finding more about that here probably in November. But so there will be additional road funding available, and then we have a regular CHI money. We're going to receive $136,706. That's all just for our county highways. So that's good news, and that's money that I have to spend within the next 5 years. So that'll help in getting some extra miles of road construction done. Other than that, that's really all I wanted to update you guys on the funding. As far as road construction goes, we are just about done for the season. We have County Highway O up in Osseo. We just got to do some finishing landscaping work up there, finish up the shoulders, and then we're going to start paving County Highway O out there by Nelson's farm. Probably could be Thursday this week, and then we'll be up there. It'll take us about 2 weeks to pave that and then shoulder it, and we'll be done with that by the end of October.
How far are you going on O there?
From Holman Road, where that new bridge was put in 3 years ago, about 2 miles south, just down to Knightsky Lane it is. Yeah. So that, and then if the weather's good, we do want to overlay County O between H and Trempealeau south of Osseo. So that would probably be a November paving job. So weather's going to dictate if our plant freezes up, temperatures get too cold, we can't turn the plant, we won't do it. But if weather's good, we do want to get that done. That's 1.4 miles. That would be just strictly an overlay.
From O to O. I mean, on H.
H to Trempealeau.
On H?
No, H to Trempealeau on O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Other than that, we've got everything else done. We finished up D south of Whitehall here last week. That's all done. And then like I said, we're just finishing up the O projects right now.
All right. Any other questions on that at all? Okay, COE Bridge Rules and Guidelines.
I emailed this to you guys last week. It's for Bridge Coed. It's just I had to update a couple of policies here. By statute, we have the authority to kind of set our own county policies, and I copied these from other counties. And the ones that I added to this were end walls that, some townships are installing culverts without end walls where sometimes they are needed. A lot of times you can get away without them, but we get some steep in slopes. So I wanted to add that to this list. I don't know if you guys printed this out and brought it with you.
I didn't.
Okay. You got yours, Doug?
Nope.
Here.
I'm going in white.
That's fine. You got one done?
Yeah, I got it.
Ready to go. Under 4, item 4, and 4D. That's the one where I added the end wall specification in there. And then I also added 4E in there because I did run into this problem with the township this year where they're putting a culvert in that's too large a diameter, and then they're humping the road way up and over the culvert, and it's causing a safety hazard. And it doesn't comply with the Trans 403 guidelines. So I just wanted to add that into these, when these townships read this, they follow this come the reimbursement period. So if they want their 50% from the county, they have to go by our rules. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of this, let you read it. And I would like to get an approval on it or have a discussion to see if you guys have any concerns with this, and if not, to move to approve it. So when I send this out to the townships next year, you guys are at least aware of it in case they didn't like one of these measures. Yeah, and let me also mention one more thing. The other thing that I added on here is that they must notify me when they're done with their culvert, so I can go and inspect it to make sure they comply with these rules on here if they want their reimbursement. It's the same way it works with us in the state. When we do a bridge, we get 80% funding, but we have to go by their rules or we don't get the money.
Looks good to me. Has anybody else got any comments?
No, I think that's okay. Well, someone probably got to get used to something like that anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
We've been too laxed on this.
Those end
program.
walls, I think the end walls are really important.
Yeah.
Right.
The end walls and that slope steepness, I had that one in there last year, but they're not complying by it. But no, they're not notifying me either, so I can go out and verify. But now, I'm gonna get more strict on this program.
Width of that's where the width of the culvert comes in.
Yep, the length.
You know, you got to get it far enough out so that you got
Yeah.
room for a slope.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the guidelines. Is there a second?
I'll second. Well, Doug, go on a second.
Okay.
I don't want to be on every one of those.
Is there further discussion on it? Otherwise, call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's carried.
Sound is back, just so you know.
Okay. Excellent.
Sound is back, but no picture.
Oh.
Coed Road addition on Holt Road for Caledonia.
Yep. I'll just read this resolution here real quick. So this is, I was asked by Town of Caledonia to add a road to their co-aid road list. I did go and look at it, and it does qualify. It meets all the requirements of a co-aid road. So whereas the Town of Caledonia Board of Supervisors has requested the Trempealeau County Highway Committee to accept the Town of Caledonia Road known as Cody Road, 0.50 miles, located in sections 3, 4, 9, 10, Range 8 West, Township 18 North, into the County 8 Highway System. Therefore, be it resolved that Cody Road be added to the County Aid Highway System of Trempealeau County, dated at Whitehall, Wisconsin, this 12th day of October, 2021.
Any questions on that at all?
That one, is that a connecting road then?
Yep, connects on each end, it meets all the width and constructability requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve? Motion by Doug,
Second?
second by Kurt. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's carried.
So are they still working on the cameras, Rob, you know, or?
Well, I know it's playing on television, you know, you're able to stream it. I'm not sure about your WebEx situation. You have folks, you have members that are trying to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the map.
Can we make a call?
You just
There you
find
go.
out, yeah, if the cameras are gonna get, if they can get in on the WebEx.
Yeah, you bet.
Let's go to the next, we'll just keep going through items till we get all that working.
Yeah. Okay, roadside herbicide spraying discussion.
Just wanted to update you guys so you're aware, because I have gotten a couple phone calls from some concerned citizens about the roadside spraying. And just in case you guys ever got some calls, you would be aware that there are some concerns out there. With the roadside spraying, you know, we went and sprayed most of the county roads this past fall for woody vegetation. That is to keep the woody vegetation down from the areas that we brush and log during the winters so it doesn't grow back. So we're not spending additional money cutting the same thing over and over. Next year, we plan on continuing our spraying program using a growth inhibitor for the grass. We plan to spray it early parts of the spring, April and May, which will slow the growth of the grass. So we only have to do one mowing each year.
There's Randy. Have you been able to hear us before, Randy?
Yes, I can hear you the whole time.
Okay. Put him down as present.
How are we doing, Randy?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good, good.
Okay.
I got a question for you now, because I was one of the people that got some little complaints. Can you hear me now?
Yep, go ahead, Randy, yep.
Yeah, most of the people that I've heard from just request that you do not spray in front of the residents, that's all.
Yep, correct.
Inside buildings, and they sprayed on both sides. I seen it personally myself, so they just want to refrain from spraying in front of the residents, that's all.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Is this spray for a certain noxious weed or what?
So the spraying we performed this past summer was for woody vegetation and wild parsnip, and it was effective.
For
Yeah.
the wild parsnip?
The wild parsnip
Yeah.
and
So
the woody
what frost
vegetation,
is-
like bushes, things that, like trees that want to grow back, it kills that, so it doesn't come back. We don't have to go out brushing with chainsaws again. The spraying that we're gonna do this next spring will be an inhibitor spray where it's going to stunt the growth of the grass. And we'll be able to cover a wider area. Right now, our boom mowers are only 6 feet wide. So we're gonna be spraying out to 20 feet from the edge of the road, right out to the right-of-way line. So we're gonna get wider, and it's gonna reduce our mowing expenses, which reduces, repair and maintenance expenses on those mowers, because we're constantly breaking them when we're hitting things in the ditches. So it's a cost-saving measure, and it's gonna be more effective.
This is more for brush,
Next spring will be for grass,
for grass.
correct?
All grass?
Yep. Yep. It doesn't kill it, it stunts it, it slows the growth.
okay.
We still gotta mow it by about August. It will be to a height where we're gonna wanna mow it.
Got anything left over for my lawn?
Yeah, right?
Anyway. Well, it's good. That was just for information anyway. Highway and encroachment and right-of-way post installation.
I did send out letters to some specific landowners in the county where crops are extremely close to the road. I'm saying within 8 to 10 feet of the edge of the asphalt. So I did send out letters last week. I'm gonna have crews going around probably later this month, once the crops are off, and install the yellow right-of-way posts. So the farmers know not to plant that close anymore. They can use the yellow right-of-way posts as their guide. So that's just for information in case you did get a phone call on that. The letter explains it, what's happening, why it's happening. That's just to keep our right-of-ways clear.
Okay. County Road D, LRIP and CHIP program.
Okay, so this is for a grant that I had applied for 2 years ago. We finally completed the project, and we've got our final bill from the contractor. We need to get approval on this so I can complete the reimbursement process. To get reimbursed, it'll be $240,000 that we will get back from the DOT. This is for the County Highway D project south of Whitehall. That was a $1.5 million project. And like I said, the reimbursement we would get would be $240,000. Head Contractors was the private contractor that completed the work. Their bid was for $517,000. Their final bill did come in at $559,735.88. There were some overruns. So I need approval on this final bill so we can get it paid, and then I can get the reimbursement of the $240,000 from the DOT.
The work has been done already.
It's all done. Yep, project is complete.
Question for you. Question, did you
Yep.
approve the overrun?
I approve the overruns, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion, somebody want to make a motion to approve?
Motion
Oh.
approved.
I think I already had the motion. You got the second there, Randy.
That's
Motion
fine.
approved. Motion to approve and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You want to go back to
Yep.
item A now? I think that item A was ATV, UTV petitions and routes discussion. And possible action, but, somebody you want to give update on what is open now and what isn't, and surrounding area that's open? Like Buffalo County, you said is all open now?
Yep, Buffalo County. Within our county here, we have town of Trempealeau, town of Arcadia, Arcadia's in the process right now. Town of Dodge, town of Sumner we approved last month, town of Ettrick and Preston. That's what we have so far within our county. And we have petitions right now on the table for Burnside, Chimney Rock, Unity, Albion, and Hale. And the club that submitted the petitions is here today, and they would just like to speak to the committee.
Sounds good to me. Just grab a mic anywhere.
My name is Brad. I'm the president of the ATV club in Osseo.
Can you hear him okay, Randy?
Why don't you just sit down and be easy to get the mic?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
My name is Brad. I'm the president of the ATV club in Osseo, Wisconsin. I have a map here that shows the state that of everything that is open, and this is in 2020 that this came out. This book, when they produce it, is about a year behind. So this is actually everything that was available that an ATV and UTV could ride in 2019. If you'd like to take a look at that, just so you know how much of the state is actually open. With that, since that map has been done, all of Buffalo County has been opened. The northern part of La Crosse County, all but I believe one township has been opened. Almost all of Monroe County has been opened. There's more in Jackson County that is open than is on that map. I was born and raised in Wisconsin Dells. Wisconsin Dells opened. They put about anywhere from 500 to 1 million people in the town in the weekend, and they opened their county or city streets up so that people could get in and out. With that being said, everybody, well, 90% of the people that asked for that to be open were residents of the town that wanted to get out of the town, not to come into the town. They wanted to leave town on their machine and go somewhere. This summer, because of those roads that are open, me and my wife left our house. We wound up in half an hour north of Brainerd, Minnesota. No truck, no trailer. We rode from our house in Osseo and came back. It was almost 1,050 miles that we put on in 6 days because of county roads being open, township roads being open, the trails that are there. We got out and were able to go and do that. We put money into different communities and stuff because we were able to do that, being gas, food, motel rooms. So with that being said, nobody is looking to ride a road. Everybody's looking to ride a road to get somewhere. They're not going to be riding the road to do donuts in your roads and to ride around just the township. They want to get to a trail. They want to get to somewhere else, not just to ride. And there's going to be issues. You're going to have that one person that's going to be going faster than he's supposed to be. You have that with motorcycles, you have that with cars, you have that with trucks now. You can't stop it, unfortunately, and it's bad, and I know that. We've tried to correct that, being the state with their speed limits and everything else. We try. We'd like these open because of Buffalo being open, people can get to the state trail, which can get them into Jackson County, get them into Clark County. So I don't know why they shouldn't be opened, other than some people don't want them open because they think they're loud. They're going to be riding up and down the street in just the streets. 9 out of 10 people want to get somewhere. They're going to be passing through and going back home. And that's what we're looking for, is to open it for that reason. Anybody have any questions? One of the things that was brought up to me by some people was the age limits for what kids can ride and what they can't ride. So in here, in the safety book for Wisconsin ATV Association that they put out, in here it says anybody 12 to 15 needs adult supervision. And adult supervision means they don't have to be on the same machine, but they have to be able to verbally or hand signal the people that are younger than that age group. Otherwise, you need to be 16 to ride the roads without an adult. And a 16-year-old is not classed as an adult to supervise his little brother that's 14. You need an 18-year-old person there. It is in here that says what is accompanied and what is as an adult. I know there's been issues that machines are loud. There's a part in here that says how loud you can be, which is 96 decibels. Your lawnmower is 90. If that gives you an idea of what you have to be and what you can't be for your noise situation. There are some machines that are out there that are loud. There's a lot of Harleys out there that are loud. No offense, Al. But there are. And I used to have a bike, so I know. They are loud. Some of them are. Some four-wheelers are loud. The DNR will eventually catch them.
I live in a Great River Road. I live in the center of Wisconsin. You should see the Harleys. They go my place. I can hear them all the way to Trembla. Why are them, you know, they're louder than hell.
Some of them are. Yes, they are. And
They're all are.
yep, and there's no regulation on it.
No, cops won't do nothing. But
So-
if you have a vehicle,
I
then you're gonna get stopped and pulled over.
have a Camaro that is loud. And it's factory, but, yep. There's something else. ATV equipment, you must have a headlight. The Razors have to have two. They also have to have a working taillight and brake light, just like your vehicle does. They're not required to have blinkers yet, but you're supposed to use hand signals like you do on a pedal bike. So as far as all that goes, they're supposed to abide, if you're on the highway, you're to abide by whatever speed limit the road is, up to 35, then you're supposed to be going 35 if it's a 55-mile-an-hour zone. If you're in a city and the speed limit is 25, you're supposed to do 25. If you're in a school zone, during school hours, it's 10, or 15, whatever the school zone is, 15. So there are laws out there that regulate the ATVs on what they can and can't do on the highways. They're not supposed to be on any state highway unless it's under a certain speed limit. So I don't know what else you need from me as far as some of that. One thing that did get changed that was big, that has changed in March of 2020, was the low pressure tire requirement for ATVs and UTVs on the state law level. That is now gone. It is no longer there. So with that, you can run a vehicle tire on your ATV. You can run a 35-pound pressure tire on your ATV. That gets rid of your squishing and your softness of why a lot of machines have accidents, because the tire would buckle and you would tip. That has helped that situation quite a bit in the last 2 years that this has been going on. A lot of people have been riding them when they weren't supposed to be, but the laws that have been talked about with the Federal Highway Commission, with their, I can't remember exactly how it is, their study that they did on the federal level, that was done back in the 80s and 90s, and that was a lot to do with the old three-wheelers that used to be out there that are no longer allowed in production. They can't make them anymore. So that study, a lot of that came from the three-wheelers. Once the four-wheelers and UTVs came out, they haven't done an actual full-blown study on what that changed all of those accidents and stuff. There are some out there, but nothing has been official. everything that I read over the last few days that I've been going over this, there was one done in 2018 that was published in February of 2020. But they even say in here, the numbers are not accurate because they're still getting data. So I don't know how you can use anything of that, but I can tell you in the state this year, there's been 28 people that have died on an ATV, UTV accident. With that, I get a report through work on how many fatalities have been on the state highways and vehicles and stuff. There has been 6 fatalities on bicycles in the state. There has been 30 pedestrians killed on the streets, and there has been almost 90 motorcycles that have been killed on the streets. So when you put everything into play and put everything into perspective, I understand a death is not correct. A death is not good, and whether it's a car, a truck, a bike, anything, but there's not that outrageous of accidents like people are trying to make it out to be on the highways and on the roads. Other than that, I don't think I have anything, Marv.
I just got a couple things. Next to a microphone here. I just got a couple things. All ATVs, UTVs must be licensed and registered through the state, and also they carry you must have a trail and route sticker on them, which is renewable every 2 years. It runs for 2 years, and it puts a lot in. Also, in the state of Wisconsin, over the last couple of years, we're at almost, or a little over 300,000 ATVs, UTVs registered now in the state of Wisconsin, which now outnumbers snowmobiles. So it is something. Brad does every year I do a ride. I've did it 13 years now. Last few years we've been able to leave Osseo, Wisconsin, where I live, and we went to Ontonagon, Michigan this year and back, about 900 miles, and of that we only rode about 45-50 miles of blacktop or county roads. But you must have the county road access to get anywhere. And with Trempealeau County having a state-approved, we got the Buffalo River State Trail, which puts you access to many, many parts, and that's what gets us out of here. And if we can open up out of the county roads, people get access to that, and that's what you need to get somewhere. And with everything open, a large portion of Eau Claire County is open now. The whole southern part and the whole eastern part, all them township roads are open to ATV, UTVs, and the reason is they can get down to the Buffalo River Trail and get out to different places. That's what we need here in the state. It is the fastest growing sport, and you talk about your equipment, you got to order it a year in advance. That's what you have to do if you want a UTV. That is the biggest thing going. They are extremely safe. They have roll cages. You must wear a seat belt. If not, your fine is only $279 for not wearing a seat belt. It's not $10. And DNR is always out there enforcing it. If you have a problem with somebody that's tearing up or speeding or loud muffler, DNR is very cooperative. We've had a few picked up on a Buffalo River Trail that caused us some problem. We get them in there, and they don't give warnings, they give tickets. So that's where it's going.
There.
Any questions?
I got one question.
Yeah.
You have to be insured.
Yes, you have to carry insurance. Yes. Yep, you must have a license on them, and it's a license plate. It's got to be on the back, and it's so you can. It's just like a car. You can get that.
Just like a vehicle, you got to have a.
Yep, and it's got to have a light and you know the lights and everything else, and you must carry insurance to ride them. So.
Okay. Any other comments? Let's see. Who's the guy in the middle? You know. in the middle there.
Oh, down the chimney.
Mike, did you have some comments?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess what I'd like to say is, I'm not a club member. I haven't been on the Buffalo River Trail, but I certainly think that the town roads need to be opened up for the reason of being able to get there, as well as getting into different areas in our township. We have a bunch of DNR land and stuff that we could hopefully eventually end up with. Actually, I was looking for some clarification. One gentleman, it was Brad, mentioned 12 to 15-year-olds driving. I think, unless I misread it, that in order to drive on a road that is designated as a route, you have to be 16 years old to drive.
That is correct. That is correct unless you're with an adult, which is defined by, in the definitions in the book in the beginning, that has to be above the age of 18 years old.
Okay. And then I also, I can't remember if it was mentioned or not, but I believe that anybody now that's getting, I mean, don't like me, you have to, but anybody now that's getting a license to drive their ATV has to go through the DNR course that we train to operate.
January 1.
January 1 of 1988.
Okay.
Has to have a safety certificate, yes.
Anybody that's after that.
Yep.
Okay.
And the one thing that I didn't mention that I would like to bring up, Trempealeau County is almost getting on an island with not allowing the ATVs and UTVs. If you look at the map that I had passed around, it actually, with the bottom part of Eau Claire County, the northern part of La Crosse County, all of Buffalo, Monroe, and Jackson County opening up more and more. Trempealeau County is about the only thing right now that doesn't have their roads open. So.
Would you like your mic back? We got it sitting up here.
Yeah, because that's part of my book that I bought. But you can, if anybody else needs to look at it for anything, I don't know if the guys can, if I can hold it in front of the camera so that the guys could see. Do you want to see this map at all?
I thought.
So, I mean, it's pretty detailed. It's from VV Mapping, if anybody wanted to know. That's where I got this from. I buy the book every year, every other year.
Is there an internet address on it somewhere? You can just Google it or whatever?
Yep, vvmapping.com. vvmapping.com. You can also go to Polaris Ride Command. They have an app that you can put on your phone that you pull it up and it will give you everything that is open that an ATV club, the county, the state has given them in a PDF, and they will put it on there for an interactive map that you can download. It doesn't cost you anything.
And that's what gives access, like for us to drive, you know, go from here into Michigan or
Yep.
Lake Superior or wherever. We use Ride Command or VV Mapping, one of those apps. And it tells you which roads are open, what isn't, stuff like that.
Just out of curiosity, how long did a trip like that take you?
We did it in 5 days. Brad was one
Oh.
of them. There was 5 of us that went this year. We've had as many as 10.
Our trip that we did 1,000 miles was 6 days.
Yeah.
6 days, no truck, no trailer, and no reservations. We get to a town somewhere close, let's start looking for a motel room. So there was only one time that it was, we might have to drive farther, but other than that, we did very well.
I see, did you have more to add, Mike?
Well, I was just going to say that our township doesn't have much for retail businesses, and I've heard it said that there's no benefit to the town. I disagree with that, obviously. It benefits me. Of course, if I can get to the trails, then I'm going to have the trail permits, and I'm going to spend money with the state to get those permits, and I'll be spending money in other retail areas around here that I'm sure some people in our township might work at or whatever. The last thing I'll say is I would caution against piecemealing this where you end up saying there's a route to get from point A to point B, I think that would just be more difficult, one, for law enforcement, so they'd have to know every posted route in the county, and two, the cost, because then you have to post just those roads, where if you open it up to the county-wide, then you don't have to, you can just put the signs at the beginning of the county or whatever, or make the ordinance, or however you do that, but then it doesn't cost anything. I had heard in the past that some people wanted to, just to get to the Buffalo River Trail. I think it's just easier and less expensive, less confusing to say, okay, our county roads are open, here's the rules. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Just maybe a question for you, Al. If all county roads are open, you don't really have to sign them because they just know they're open.
Yeah, then it's perimeter signing, they call it. Yeah, just sign them.
That would actually save a lot of money on signage.
Yeah, because all you have to sign then is when you come into the county, our county roads are open, and they got the signs, what, they're about $75, I think, something like that. And it just said all of Trumpealeau County's, they would just say all of Trumpealeau County roads are open to ATVs, and they'll have ATVs, UTVs on there.
Is the ATV clubs or snowmobile clubs or whatever paying for all these signs, or who's paying for those?
We have for the whole town of Sumner, yes, and we have for others, and we would definitely, probably, how many signs would we need? Approximately.
I think I did it like 2 years ago. It was around 20 signs. 15 to 20.
Our ATV club should be able to
We'd
come
probably
up with
foot
that.
If it's $1,500, we'd flip that bill 2,000, anything up to 2,000.
And then, are you gonna allow us to install them, or would the county have to install them?
County would.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
You're talking about down in Sumner?
Town of Sumner's done.
I mean, are the county roads?
No, we haven't, because that's just
what I
through,
say.
but
That's, are you talking about 1,500 for a,
No, for the
For
whole
what you
town,
did.
whole township,
that was
the whole
Sumner?
county here, the whole
to do the whole
The
county?
whole county?
Yeah. You don't need to put it on every road, you just need to have it on the ones that come in.
That
And
would
then-
be on the county roads?
Yeah, and then we'd put in like small ones on different, you seen the 6x6.
Did you sign Town of Sumner then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I seen the signs, but I didn't know what.
So, and I'm also the one that went through, like Bridge Creek, all of southern Eau Claire County, and opened all those roads too.
Okay. I see Ms. Ziegler is on. Would you have some comments, Kathy?
Not really, John. I don't have any comments. I basically am here to listen. I did want the committee to know, however, that we did have our town board meeting last Wednesday and discussed the option of having a public hearing, which the committee, your committee talked about last month in meeting. The dynamics in Chimney Rock are that we have more non-resident landowners than we do have resident landowners. So a standard public hearing would be not all that beneficial. An in-person hearing, we felt we would have to do a mailing, which would cost us an estimated $400 to $500. So the board decided not to go that route. If this is something that your committee is still interested in and would be willing to pay for, we would consider, I would bring that back to the board and have them reconsider that. Just briefly, the town of Chimney Rock, once again, we have no crossroads that go across Highway 21 or Highway 93 as far as county roads are concerned. And our resolution still stands, as do the resolutions you received from the other townships. I'm sure you will be hearing from them in due course.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other
Any questions?
any questions for Kathy? That, we'll go on. Any other comments that I'm missing? Rob?
So I won't take up much of your time. Rob Grover, I serve as Trempealeau County's Economic Development and Tourism Coordinator, and I just want to, I guess, lend my support to opening up more of our county roads to ATV traffic. You know, as many of you would recall, we looked at this issue very intensely back in 2020. We had a working group of various county officials, from the sheriff to myself to the highway director to our corporation council, basically looking at where would the issues be, and we all, you know, talked to our counterparts in other parts of the state to see where would problems lie with doing this. And frankly, the feedback generally was that there weren't a lot of problems with opening up more roads to ATV traffic. So I just wanted to kind of remind you of that. Also, we are in the process of finishing up our Trempealeau County Outdoor Recreation Plan right now, which will go from 2022 to 2026, and a big piece of that is doing surveying of folks around the county and folks from outside of the county. So we had about 300 people, you know, take the survey, and what it gauges is what are folks looking to do and see Trempealeau County focus on in the years ahead. And one of the top issues was ATVing. Folks want to have more opportunities to do it, like these folks said, to be able to connect to wider off-road ATV trails. But you know, there's also a side benefit of, there's a lot of folks that own ATVs that are residents of Trempealeau County that maybe want to go a few miles up the road to help a neighbor haul some wood or pull a deer out of the woods, or the you know, many different things that ATV, UTV can be useful to do. But if you live on a road where you can't legally drive, you know, you have to trailer it up and haul it over and that sort of thing. So I see tremendous tourism benefits in the long term of bringing more ATV traffic into Trempealeau County, but also I see it as a quality of life issues for folks that already live here and just want to use those ATVs to again, get from point A to point B, help out a neighbor, and enjoy it. So yeah, I just lend my support to opening up more roads wherever it's deemed safely to do so.
Okay. Is there any other comments? Other than that, were we planning on voting on this, or we were just discussion?
That's up to you.
Does somebody want to make a motion to open up county roads, or what do you want to do? I'll leave that up to the committee.
Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, this is Kathy Zeglin again.
Yes.
At the last meeting, you and the committee said there would be no action on this item until December, so that the townships could decide what they wanted to do as far as your public hearings are concerned. You have not notified the towns that this decision is being made today. Indeed, Al only did his email out to invite people to WebEx yesterday afternoon at, I believe it was 3 p.m. I guarantee you, a majority of those towns haven't even read that email yet. So making any decision today is entirely unfair, goes against what you already said at the last meeting.
Okay, I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference for this year anyway. So
I would, I would restate that's what we did have, that we were going to wait. They were going to have October and November for a public hearing, and then they were going to come back in December. So probably would. That's
so we'll stick with our original deal to.
I think we should, you know,
call for a vote in December, and in the meantime, hopefully to get more feedback. What either
they were at the ones. Some of them were at the meeting.
Yeah.
So they know what the plan is, and so I would say by December, then maybe keep in contact with them, and
okay, so
they can plan for it.
Doug, did you have any comments?
No, I can't say.
Okay.
See, I don't ride, you know. I used to ride bicycle. I haven't got no trails for bicycle. I gotta ride the highway, the main highway. So I know it's going to happen. You're going to get your good people. You're going to get your bad people out there. And we just hope we have all the good people, not the bad people.
And you've got that in your car. You've got that with your pickup truck.
In our township, we only got one county road. That's oh, we got a little G, but not very much. Going towards Dodge. Just-
Well, I just remember what your statement was.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Randy.
How much work would it be to notify all the other townships in Trumbull County to see if they support or oppose UTV use, and if they support it, to open the entire county up without these individual petitions?
Got an answer for that?
Well, so all that, the only remaining ones are Caledonia and Gale. Yeah, Caledonia, because, you know, we have Trempealeau, Arcadia, Dodge, Sumner, Ettrick, and Preston. They're already open. And then we've got these 5 townships here that we're talking about today: Burnside, Chimney, Albion, Unity, and Hale. So really, it's just, Lincoln, that's it. Lincoln, Gale, and Caledonia. Those are the only 3 remaining that really haven't been part of a conversation yet. So, I mean, no, it would not be hard to answer your question. It wouldn't be hard to get those remaining 3 in the discussion.
Well, I thought as long as we were waiting to vote on it in December, instead of individual petitions, just find out if the townships are opposed to it, or if they're in favor of it, and which ones are, and then work off of that, and maybe just instead of individual petitions for county road, open the entire county up if it comes down to that or not. So I guess that's the question is, we get this one, and we move on to the next one, and we're gonna keep having this on the table until we either open the entire county or we don't.
Has anybody, I'm sure it has, but has anybody approached the Towns Association? I haven't been to one of those for a while, but I'm sure that's been approached too, right? Towns Association? Have they discussed this at all, or? Kathy, maybe you could answer that. Does the Towns Association address this question at all?
The Towns Association was addressed by Mr. Rinka. It might have been, I don't remember the exact date, maybe 2 years ago. He came to a county-wide meeting, made his presentation. At that point, there was only one townsperson in the room that was in favor of opening roads. So that presentation was made and was not well received by the
or something? Okay.
And I would also remind you that your ordinance, I'm pretty sure that the current ordinance states that they can only be considered to be open by petition from a club. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the ordinance states.
I think you might be right there too, because we were doing it kind of road by road originally. But that could be changed. Anyway, I think I have to go with agreement. We said we would wait till December, so that's what we're going to do, wait till December. And in the meantime, hopefully get more feedback from the Towns Association and the townships themselves, and more public input. We don't want to do something that's going to perturb people, but at the same time, I think I have to agree with like Rob Grover and the people here. I think in the long run, it's going to be a good idea. So, can we just table it until December?
Yep.
We'll just table that whole item until December.
Is the Towns Association meeting open to the public, or is that just a township?
I'm sure you can address it. All meetings are supposed to be open to the public because you're...
Yes, they're open to the public, yeah, and there is one next Tuesday night, week from tonight.
You know where that is?
Down in Preston and Blair.
Time?
Usually 7
p.m. So, but the agenda, I do believe, is out for that meeting. Dan Lilla is the chair of that. I guess I could ask him and see if there's time to get on that agenda.
I'm not sure, Kathy, you know the answer to that too. I think they meet bi-monthly or quarterly? Quarterly, huh?
We meet quarterly.
Right.
The next meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday, October 19th, at the town of Preston, as Mr. Rinkus stated, at 7 o'clock. To my knowledge, the agenda has been set. They are all open meetings. But, again, Dan Lilly is the chair.
If we can't get on the agenda for now, you won't have another meeting until when?
January.
Which will be after the time that you're going to vote
Right.
for this.
I'll email Dan today and just see what.
I think it can still be put on the agenda. We have the county has a 24-hour, has to have 24-hour notice on the agenda, otherwise it's, can't be discussed. So I don't know what the Towns Association has separate rules from that, but I think that's basically a state ruling. You have to have 24 hours, unless it's some sort of an emergency, which I'm sure they won't consider this an emergency. So all you need is 24-hour notice. So if the chair of the Towns Association is willing to put it on his agenda, it could still be put on.
I'll find out today and let you know.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just want to comment that I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I remember that it is quite full. I do believe we have 4 speakers that night, so it looks like a full evening already, but again, it's up to Mr. Lua.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments on the ATVs at all? Otherwise, we'll go on to, let's see, we did that.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
B, set a date for road viewing.
Yeah, so
Mike Holland
has left the meeting.
yeah, what's your guys' schedules looking like for road viewing? I mean, we could, if you know, we were gonna do it today. You know, we could do half of them after lunch, or just pick a full day.
I got a border review, or not a border review, but a joint review board.
Yeah, can do it then.
Everything should be pretty well done by November, so why don't we schedule it for our next regular meeting? Do the road viewing at the same time?
November 9th.
That work?
Is there, what are the county board meetings like that week? I remember that always kind of, they do those day meetings in November, isn't it?
Do you have your November county date?
No, I
Oh, yeah, that one day meeting.
What about it? It's,
So I thought, it interferes with our highway committee each year in November.
Oh, yeah, that's the budget year, you
Yeah.
know.
yeah, that's everything. It's right after the election.
Well, if it's the 9th, we'll have to change our meeting.
Yeah, we'll have to change our meeting too.
8th work?
You gotta go to the 2nd? Or the 16th?
Or the 10th. But Wednesday is the 10th.
Might want to go sooner
seemed
than
to
later,
me there
'cause
was
we could have
something on the
snow then
10th,
too.
but
Maybe the second?
Second.
what was it?
Let's go a week early.
That's election day.
Oh, yeah, that isn't good.
How about the 3rd?
Yeah, ELU.
That's a Wednesday.
We got ELU that morning.
What?
The
Yeah, we got,
third, we
that's
got
right.
ELU.
Yeah. We got land use on the
Fourth
10th.
could work.
The Thursday?
That's a Thursday. Will that work?
Works for me, yeah.
Same time?
How about you, Randy?
What, Thursday, the 11th?
4th.
For the next meeting? That's Armistice, no. Veterans Day, yeah, isn't it, John?
Yeah. But that's all right.
Will the courthouse be open?
Oh, yeah.
Courthouse is highway shut down.
Huh?
Courthouse is open, but that's highway's holiday.
Highway shut down.
If you wanna come in the morning for the meeting, I can come in a couple hours, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we can do that too.
That's your day off.
Yeah,
Can you switch?
I can just come in for a couple hours. Which will work good because I only get 8 hours holiday that day. So I can work for 2 hours.
Okay.
So are we going with the 11th?
No, the 4th, I thought it was.
The 4th, okay.
Oh, the 4th you're gonna do it.
The 4th.
So the 11th is Veterans Day?
The 11th is Veterans Day.
Well,
Yeah.
the 4th.
Yeah, 11 was
Okay.
for
Fine.
Veterans
Yeah,
Day, yeah.
The
4th.
4th is on Tuesday, or Thursday?
No, Thursday.
Yeah,
4th is on a Thursday, yeah.
So you're
okay.
doing the 4th?
November 4, we get the
That's
right
our
date.
November meeting and.
Road viewing, so that'll be a full day.
Yeah. Okay, personnel question here. I got welder fabricator position update. Did you get one hired yet?
Yep, just extended an offer to him on Thursday, last Thursday. So assuming he'll accept, he will probably be here, in about a month or so.
It's out of, it's not within.
No, this is a gentleman that lives down in the Blair area. Yeah, so yeah, that position is filled. And yeah, like I said, hopefully he's here in about a month.
Okay. Winter Road School, I just turned mine in. Did everybody get a copy of the Winter Road School?
Oh,
Kellen, did you get a Winter Road School app?
I didn't, but I emailed
It's-
this morning.
Yeah, it's emailed, but I have copies if someone needs them.
You guys gonna go golfing then?
Not in the winter. Not in the winter.
Take the L out of there and put goofing in there.
That's March.
Thank you.
Yep.
So anyway, so the sooner you get them in, so they can make reservations
I need approval.
and approval. So we need approval for the Winter Road School,
You did email.
January 17th through the 19th. Looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Kellen. Seconded by Doug. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any other thing we missed? Not, we can adjourn at 9 or 8, like 48, something like that. No,
52.
8:52. Okay. Sounds good.